Hello and welcome to a new video, and today we're flying with SAS from Longyearbyen to Tromsø. So this will be my first English video that's not about ships. Of course, I'm not only making videos about cruise ships and traveling by ship, but also about flying and train travel, so there's more to come. And we start with a flight video, and this video starts in Longyearbyen at the Radisson Blu Hotel where I stayed overnight. And now it's time to leave the hotel after the breakfast. But before I went to the airport, I just quickly hopped to the post office to send one last postcard, which I couldn't send from New Orleans because I was missing the zip code. And of course, without an internet connection, there's no chance to find it out. So I had to send it from Longyearbyen. And then I headed back to the hotel and we got transferred by bus to the airport, and during check-in at the airport we were still able to see a whale in the fjord, so that's absolutely amazing. Check-in took a while because there are only 2 flights a day from Longyearbyen and they all started at the same time, so all guests of this day wanted to check in at the same time. Then I enjoyed one last beer from Svalbard, from Longyearbyen, and then it was time to step on board of the plane. It was the plane with the registration SERUF. It's a brand new plane, an A320neo, and it was delivered to SAS brand new in April 2021. So it is a brand new plane. And then it was time for takeoff, and in a moment we headed to the runway. There was already the second plane of the day coming, the Norwegian Boeing 737. And they have the same destination. They are going to Oslo via Tromsø. And then it was time for the takeoff and my last seconds on Svalbard. But luckily, not only staying on Svalbard is amazing, but also flying to and from Svalbard is amazing. This time there were a few clouds during takeoff, but still we could see the peaks of the mountain that were higher than the low clouds. And that was also a very beautiful sight, and a few minutes later there were no more clouds and we could enjoy a last view of Svalbard. On my flight to Longyearbyen, I booked SAS Plus because I had to. There were no other tickets available, but for the way back I could book the normal seats in the back of the plane, and in my opinion for this flight SAS Plus would not be worth it. You get an extra snack, but that's very small, and you get fast lane and lounge access, but Longyearbyen is a tiny airport, so there is no lounge and I didn't see any fast lane, so that was not worth it, and I just booked the standard ticket, which still includes a cup of coffee. And Longyearbyen is a special airport because it's the northernmost airport in the world that sees regular passenger traffic, so that's something very special, and it is not too difficult to get there, and it's also not too expensive because flights have the same price like normal flights in Norway. So if you're lucky, you can fly there for not more than 200 euros. If you're really lucky and book in advance, maybe even less. So that's not a big deal, but as you saw in my last videos, of course you need to have a program booked in Svalbard because you cannot leave the city on your own. You for sure need a tourist program there, and these are of course pretty expensive. And then we arrived in mainland Norway, and soon after we started our descent into the airport of Tromsø, and that was very beautiful again. Like in general, flying in Norway is amazing. When there's good weather like today, it's always very scenic. And then it was time to land in Tromsø. Tromsø itself was something special because just shortly before the flight I realized that I need to change plane in Tromsø. I don't know why I booked it like this. Most probably there was no other option still available when I booked the flight, or it was cheaper. But it turned out that all guests had to leave the plane, also those who want to go to Oslo with the same plane. All luggage was unloaded. They had to check it in completely new again, go to security again. In the end, this plane was delayed about 2 hours. So in the end, both flights were taking off almost at the same time. And that's it for this video. In the next video, you'll see the second part of the flight to Oslo. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here you can see when my next English video will be published and the name of the song. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider to comment, like, subscribe or share a video link, and I will see you next time.